Excuse me. What up, world? Excuse me, please. What up, world? It's your boy Mo Better from Mo Better Publishing and Productions LLC, the media group. I deserve a deal in connection with Collective Minds LLC. Collective Minds LLC is the revitalization of, Black Wall Street. And a lot of people say that Black Ruby Keys, hey Queen, how you been? A lot of people say that Black Wall Street is something that we need to do. We need to do our own. We need to do this, and we need to have a lot of people to understand that the same people that created the media are the people who bury that Black Wall Street already existed. A lot of people bury the idea that we already had our own. A lot of people bury the idea, media, the people who control the media. Watch this. This is television programming. This is radio programming. The periodicals and things of that nature that we read is actually created by a system that's actually made to brainwash you and miseducate you so that we can have and accept and live by a black inferior complex that we need to question. You know, why do they hide the media? Why do they hide that this already existed? Why do they hide the fact that 13 black men from Africa, Moors, actually helped to initiate the Constitution for the United States of America? Why do they hide, you know what I'm saying, that we as Americans, black African Americans, were some of the first billionaires in the United States of America? It's because anything that you continuously see, this is the propaganda that they've created. The process of mental and emotional warfare, systematic mental manipulation to get us as a people to believe that anything that we have has actually come from them. Anything it is that we have actually came from them. Anything that we want to consider to be the greatest or the best has to come from them, has to come from the system. Now, in today's speech, I want to talk about this in real life with Mo Better. I talk about situations that affect us as a black people every day. I talk about things that this country has imposed upon us. Now, in this piece this morning, I'm talking about it's time for us to reestablish black privilege, like what was shown at the Capitol. That's white privilege. Now, I want to ask you, what else do you need to see that you gonna be what Jay-Z called OJ, you know what I'm saying, in his song? OJ said, man, what do you think about being black? And he said, man, I'm not black, I'm OJ. What happened? You still a nigga when it count. You see what I'm saying? Now, I want to ask you a question. Do you see white privilege at the epitome of its potential right now? Before we slide off into this new world order, it's time for us to come together and establish black privilege. How do we do this? I'm not telling everybody to move on St. Clair, move on the 5, move on Superior, everybody just live in Akron. I'm not telling everybody to live in one place, but what I would like all of us to do is to restructure your mind frame. I want you to question the black inferior complex. When you begin to question the black inferior complex and you begin to add the value to yourself, guess what you do? You add to the value of who you are and you begin to make better decisions in life. You begin to see things for what they really are. Now, let me ask you a question. How can we, as black people, die by white officers? Listen to this, by white officers, by selling CDs and DVDs. How can we as being black people die from a traffic stop to where we merely just possibly didn't turn a turn signal on? We might have ran a stop sign. We might have ran a red light. But we died from that from white officers. CC Alexandra Queen, how you doing? How is that possible? How is it that somebody can come in your house and die? I mean, you are in your house and the police can break in the wrong house, kill you and die. Now, each one of these situations, these officers got charged. Some of them got charged. Some of them didn't even get charged. They go to court and get off without even probation. And when they get off of their time, guess what they get? They get when they're laid off, or not laid off, but when they're off for what took place and this crime is being investigated, guess what happens? They're getting paid leave, and they just killed a black person. Now I want to ask you something. Everything that is around the world, when we start dealing with governments, is the capital of what it is. If you are king, it's in the king. It's in the castle of where you are. It's what that place, right? Now the White House is the capital of the United States of America, one of the greatest countries in the world right now, controlling everything in the world right now, right? One of the controllers of everything in the world right now, right? So let me ask you a question. Now I just finished talking about how Queen CC Alexandra, how you doing? Now I just finished talking about this. How we as the black people die from traffic stops by white cops. We, as y'all seen them beat our women on the freeway and the highway from walking on the freeway. Cars stop going to get gas, dead on the freeway, right? Now, you also have this demonstration to where selling CDs, selling cigarettes, and we end up dead by white officers. Now, I want to understand this. While we had this white man in office, Trump, right? So they don't want him out of office. So what they do is they raid the White House. White people raid the White House, the Capitol that controls the government in the United States of America is raided. They go and break the windows down. They go inside the White House. White people go inside the White House, spray painting, tearing up the Oval Office, absolutely everything. And guess what? Police didn't tear gas. They didn't pepper spray. They didn't hit anybody. They didn't hit their own people with clubs. This is the White House. It's supposed to be the most secure place, one of the most secure places in the world. The white officers did not pepper spray their white people. They did not gas their white people. They did not hit them with billy clubs. They did not shoot one person. They didn't even shoot in the air. So can you see what's going on here? Now I want to ask you a question. You see the privilege that they have as being white? Now I want to ask you, what are you going to do about it? Do you see now that the system is not broken? Do you see that the system is actually made to do exactly what it is? Do you see that the system is made against you? Do you see that? Do you see that the system is made against you? It don't care nothing about who you are. We stepped foot on the White House and was raided and shot down, and killed, and murdered, water holes, dogs, taken to jail because of our rights. We did it because we were dying. We did it because people were killing us. We did it for civil rights. We did it to say, listen, we are being imposed upon and being segregated against, and we died for fighting for what the Constitution says. These people went there, white people, their own people, went there and absolutely nothing happened to them. Like, can you see with your own eyes, man, that the system is not broken? It's made to do exactly what it's done and is targeted towards particular people, and a certain other people, Caucasians, have a privilege. Now I want to ask you a question. What are you going to do now that you see this? Get into an organization. I don't care which one you do. I hope you choose Collective Minds LLC. Collective Minds LLC is an organization that is based on cultural awareness, education, economic development, and empowerment. It's made to show and educate all of us to see exactly what it is that we're seeing right now, so that we can do what? Guess what? Come together. People say, I don't want to let this dude run me. Hey, I'm not being ran by you. Guess what this organization does? This organization is ran exactly how the government is supposed to be ran. It's ran by the people. When we as a people come together and say, this is what we feel we need to do, and we do the science and the math on it and calculate it to say, okay, this will be the best for us, this is what we do. This is not just me. So this is what I want. This is one of the reasons why they killed Muammar Gaddafi. Oh, he's a man of color. The Lion of Libya, right? Lion of Libya, like the Lion of Judah, right? They killed him. Guess what Muammar Gaddafi did? Muammar Gaddafi said, man, our hospitals, he created his own educational and economic infrastructure to say, I don't need y'all, right? Every hospital was free. Every school was free. When you got married in this country, he gave the family $50,000 to start their family off correctly and properly. In his hospitals, he said, if I cannot cure you, if my hospitals that I created cannot cure you, I'm going to fly, I, as the president, will fly you anywhere in the world to where you can be cured. And it's on the house. Everything in this country that was sold, oil, gold, everything that was sold, percentages of the every people that was a citizen got a portion of it. United States of America said, man, he said, I'm going to show you how every government in the world is supposed to be ran. These are the rules and regulations. And they killed him for it. This is what this organization is ran on. This organization is ran on saying that we as a people need to come together. We as a people need to say, hey, listen, we need to create our own educational economic infrastructure. Am I saying that we need to segregate ourselves away from them to the degrees to where, no, go shop where you want to shop, do the things that you want to do, but guess what, at the same time, I would like for you to do what they do. Guess what they do? That they got from us, took from us, and hid through the media and all the way underground so we cannot see it. Tanya Johnson, hey, Queen, how you doing? Guess what they did? They spend what they own before they spend anywhere else. They police their own before police can come in there. They educate their own to do what it is that needs to be done so they can remain, guess where? With the privileges that they have. We need to stop allowing them or paying attention to the media to the degrees to where, guess what? We live like they want us to live so we can continually perpetuate the activities and actions that they show the world that we live and see. You paying attention to Atlanta Housewives. You paying attention to Empire. You paying attention to everything that is negative pertaining to us. To where, guess what? When we see something on TV, every black man wanted to be. When we was coming up, we wanted to be Mean Joe Green. We wanted to be the Pruitts. We wanted to be everybody. We wanted to be Michael Jordan. We wanted to be everybody that we saw on TV that was famous. All the girls, you wanted to be Diana Ross. You wanted to be Janet Jackson. You wanted to be these people. So guess what they do? They have changed the positivity of black people to merely sports, merely fighters, and all negativity through what you consider to be reality TV that is actually scripted, which means they are told what to do. But because we continuously see this on television and say they have succeeded, they have made it, they are on TV, this is what I need to do and act like in order to become it, just like the football players, just like Michael Jordan, just like Diana Ross when we was coming up, Aretha Franklin, just like Janet Jackson. So now they perpetuate negativity for us to follow so we can act these things out in reality. Not reality TV, but in reality in our lives. And this is what they promote for us all across the world. This is why we can travel somewhere. You can go to Punta Cana. You can go anywhere else in the world, and somebody will call you a nigger and try to treat you disrespectfully who have never met a black person before in their life. Because this is what they want the world to see of us. It's time for us, as you see what is going on right now on the media, right here in the United States of America, at the Capitol, the most secure place on the planet, has been uprooted and divided by them, and not one gun was blown, not even in the air. No tear gas. No rubber bullets. No sandbags. Police actually walked away and turned away from the barricades against their own people that was raiding the Capitol. But we'll die for a CD, a DVD, cigarettes, or a turn signal. I want you to think about this. Think about what you're saying. Face the reality of what is real. That it's time for us to create our own educational and economic infrastructure. And the fear in you is what they are actually banking on. They're banking on that you will become so scared that you will say, man, I'm not about to lose Man, I'm not about to lose my job. I'm not about to. Guess what happens when we begin to create our own? There's no fear of you losing the job. There's no fear of you having an issue with finances because guess what? We create and establish our own just like they do. You know what I mean? CC Alexander says absolutely. They knew that countries, they knew that centuries ago when they labeled everyone who was not black under white to gain a majority vote and give black people a sense of being less than. However, it didn't work. So Willie Lynch syndrome was unleashed, and it works. They got black people in the head by thinking, in a thought process, by thinking lighter is better. Two things a person cannot get away from: their mind and skin. The action is self-love. It's so slated. We struggle to come together. Y'all remember when we had a thing to where we wanted to be white? I mean, you wanted to be light, the light person, this was better. I just finished talking to somebody last night about this, right? And we as a people, we hate this word, brainwash. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody brainwashed. Nobody got my mind. I do what I want to do. I want to do. So this is what I said, right? This is what I said. I got into this demonstration with this. I do what I want to do. I said, well, what do you want to do? When I got to ask her what she want to do, I said, I want the same. Listen to this. I'm not brainwashed. I do what I want to do. But listen to this. I want the same privileges that they have. I want the justice that they have. I want to do the things that they have. I want to go where they want to go and do what I want to. Why do you have this in your mind? You have this in your mind because you've been brainwashed, systematically mentally manipulated. You have been going through the process of mental and emotional warfare to degrees to where, guess what? You want what they want and you don't even know why do you want what they want? Why won't you get your own? Why don't you study your own culture and begin to establish within your own? And the killing part is, this is a person of authority. This is a person who can actually draw people to themselves and create what they have, but that is ours. The key to being brainwashed is to not understand that you are actually being brainwashed, that you have been brainwashed. It's to make you believe that your thought process is your thought process and nothing is wrong with you. Daniel Morgan, what it do, King? Barbara Settle, how you doing, Queen? Thank y'all for joining. But do you understand what's going on? We have been groomed to think in a certain way. We have been groomed to act in a certain way. And we don't think anything is wrong with it when it is. Like Queen CC Alexandra just stated, they got us in the head. And it's up to us to see what is going on so we can reverse it. Until we reverse it and begin to take our own. And I'm not talking about the war. I'm not talking about the war. I'm not talking about putting on knives and guns. What I'm talking about is educating yourself on who you are, who we are as a people. Do you understand that, listen, we as a black people spend $1.5 trillion a year with every other people but us. Can you imagine if we begin to direct that? This is what they don't want us to do. This is why they keep us so mixed up with situations of Black Lives Matter. Is racism real? Does it really exist? Well, do something about it. Change it. How? Begin to integrate with your people. Begin to segregate yourself. Begin to start dealing with your own. Am I saying don't shop nowhere else? No, that's not what I'm saying. But guess what I'm saying? Do it with your people first. Especially when you go somewhere and they have quality business. The customer service is great. That's how Black Wall Street started. They wanted to deal with people who treated them like they wanted to be treated. And guess what happened? We on 13 million acres of land that was ours, ran by us. But the whole thing is, man, we don't need to be in one segregated area. The same thing happens every time. So what we need to do again is change the thought process and do what it is they do. Prime example, they'll work downtown Cleveland, right? Living Pepper Pike. Lunchtime. They either brought their own lunch or they would go to where they eat, where their people are, so they can eat. But they'll drive past Euclid, Superior, St. Clair, 105, all these food spots that are ours to go eat and spend their money with their own. And until we learn how to do the same thing, man, we will be in the position that we're in. Understand, y'all see here, the system is not broken. The system is made to do exactly what it does. Divide us as a people and continuously have us come to them and cry for justice, cry for peace, cry for equality that they will never give us. So we need to again create our own, recreate, revitalize our own educational and economic infrastructures. So we don't have to worry about them. I'm not telling you to be a vigilante, but guess what happens when something negative happens in your neighborhood and somebody like Tokyo Morgan, you know what I'm saying, or Daniel Morgan, Tokyo, you know what I'm saying? Somebody like Hank Capone, somebody like Fred Ward, somebody like Maurice Smallberry, somebody like uh, 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 Donnie Hood, somebody like these people of stature to where they are. My dude was getting ready to be all the way down with this before he passed away. You know what I'm saying? I hated that Wendell Harris. You know what I mean? But you got these different people that create structure. Do you understand, man, that we could be all the way out the way? And everybody is making money legitimately, millions of dollars, man, because we are now beginning to direct our finances with us as a people. And see, these are different neighborhoods. And these are all the way at different parts of the city. Pompous Tyler in Akron. You know what I mean? You got Big Chris in Akron. You got Kimball Bew out here. You got Andre Wells over here. Do you understand all these people from these different cities? Do you understand as we begin? This is where I'm at. Master P. I'm at T.I. I'm at 50 Cent. I'm at Tyler Perry. I'm at these people who professing that Black Lives Matter and that they're willing to help each other to do this. Guess where my money is going? I'm into helping us to the degrees to where I financed us. I financed an organization that actually supports us as a people whenever it is, it's something that we need to be done. Now, I'm going to ask you, why have you not become an official part of it? I don't care what your thought process is. You think it's a scam, you think it's a multi-level marketing company, you don't trust me, whatever the situation is. You can ask me and sit down with me and we can talk about it, or you can put it right here on the wall for the world to see. And I'm going to answer you right here in front of everybody. So there'll be no misunderstanding or misconceptions about what this organization is about. I own InTouch Home and Building Maintenance, LLC. Y'all always see me working. I own in the Moment Photography. Y'all always see me working. I own Mo Better Publishing Productions, LLC. Y'all always see me working. But I took money from those three companies to establish a company that is made for and built for us so we can structure and finance ourselves. Now, I want y'all to think about that, man, and become a part of an organization, to support an organization that supports you back. You know what I mean? Corona first hit the organization. Hey, any single mothers and those 50 years or older, do you need anything, water, anything to eat? Create a situation. Food market, right before the corona hit the second time, this organization was getting ready to feed 100 families. But the coronavirus hit, so we care more for the lives of you than feeding your belly for like 1 or 2 weeks. You see what I'm saying? So we stopped this. So everything is serious about this organization. If you would like to be a part of it, please inbox. You cannot find Collective Minds LLC on Facebook. You cannot find it. Why not? Because it is private. It is not private to hide anything, but it's private to quarantine. A lot of people don't understand that you don't just quarantine situations from sicknesses and ailments. Do you understand that attitudes and thought processes are actually illnesses too? So this is hidden for thought processes. We don't want negative people in this process. So if somebody in this organization, if somebody is in this organization and they see that you think and act as they do, that's the only way that you can be invited in it. You see what I'm saying? So if you like what I'm talking about and you want to be a part of this organization, inbox me and tell me you want to be a part of Collective Minds LLC. I saw your video. I like what you're doing with Collective Minds LLC. then I can bring you in. Or if anybody is on here that you hear talking, and ask them if they're a part of it, and ask them to bring you in. That's the only way it can be done. But the thing is, we want to quarantine ourselves, not just from the sickness of the disease of COVID-19, the coronavirus, but we also want to contain ourselves and quarantine ourselves from negative behaviors. Like it says in the scriptures at 1 Corinthians 15:33. Bad association spoils useful habits. So if you want to question the myth of your black inferiority complex and you want to reverse the mindset of the brainwashing that we have been groomed to have, so where we hate each other, fear each other, don't want to do business with each other, you want to reverse that and you want to grow so we can start doing these things together as a people, grow and develop under cultural awareness, education, economic development, and empowerment. Inbox me and tell me you want to be a part of Collective Minds LLC. And I'll bring you in and you'll see what this whole organization is about. You ready to get out of here? Look at the difference between white privilege and see what's going on. It's time for us to create our own. And until we see that and do that together as a people, I don't care if we start small. Guess what happens? When we start small and people begin to see us growing and developing and branching out and that it is actually working, guess what happens? Then they'll come and see it. They'll want to be a part of it. We'll grow. And until then, we will remain this collective, the chosen few that desire to live like we are. CC Alexander says, we all need to learn when and how to consistently apply support of our own. It's not support recording us fighting each other and laughing, then get upset when the police do. Man, that is so real. I mean, none of my pages, you know what I'm saying? Like 40, 50,000 people. I got one group with 20,000 people in it. So when I post things, it go to like a lot of people, thousands of people. You don't see me posting up fighting. You don't see me posting up twerking. You don't see me posting up, you know what I'm saying? I don't even put up how the police killed and did something to somebody because I don't want to give them the privilege of doing that. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to do that. I don't want to give them the publicity of that. What I always promote is about the education of us, relationships, how to deal with stresses and strains, how we motivate and inspire one another. And today we're talking about finances, on how to grow and develop together financially. These are the things that I post up. And I'm an ex-street dude, did penitentiary time and the whole nine, but those things don't excite me because guess what? I understood that I was brainwashed when I did those things. And I perpetuated an activity through people that followed me to do the things unfitting when I promoted stuff like that. I don't put up girls fighting and sex and her twerking, and I don't do all that. You know what I'm saying? Why not? Because I don't want us to grow back into what we need to be to where we can substantiate and abstain from the negativity and perpetuate the positivity of who we are as a black people. Look, I'm ready to get out of here. I'll take care of you. Interested? Let me know. Let's grow and develop together. Promote and support each other. Y'all take care. I love y'all. It's your boy. More better in real life. God be.